Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments. I'm Helen and this is my place to talk about my knitting, crochet and all things yarn. I am officially a yarn addict and I enjoy knitting and crochet, and here is my place to show you my whips and make new friends. I always forget to do my social media, so I'm going to let you all know my social media. So I am Crochet Moments on Instagram, and on Ravelry I'm Helen Brown Crochet, although it has been a little while since I've been on Ravelry, so I do need to go check to see if I've had any messages. All my contact details are below. I'm more than happy to receive emails if you've got any questions that you want to ask about a project, or if you just want to reach out and say hello, that's more than welcome. And yeah, so this is episode, let me get my notes in my flowery notebook. This is episode 21 and first off, we're going to have my fairly new segment, which is called Catherine's Knitty Moments, and I will pass you across to Catherine.
Hello everyone. Now excuse us if you do hear any stuff in the background, that is me, because I've got a bit of a bunged up nose. Okay, so work in progress. I haven't got many because I've not done many knits lately, but I've done a bit more on my hat. Just look at it. It looks like a pattern. It looks like a pattern, doesn't it?
Yes, this is the James C. Brett Fairground DK, and it sort of knits up almost like a fair isle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So how many rows have you got left until you start reducing? Can you remember?
I don't know, I left my notebook upstairs.
Okay, so we've got to do 35 rows straight, haven't we?
Yeah. Wait, I thought it was 37.
No, 35.
Oh.
So you've probably only got about...
I want 29 right now.
So 35 minus 29.
Okay. I forgot a call. Oh, 6. Yes, 6. I'm so silly.
Yes, so it's 6 rows,
Yeah.
and we were having problems with the yarn, weren't we? So you tell everybody what was the problem we were having with the ball of yarn.
Well, it wasn't like this recently. It's been caked up over the days.
So why did we have to cake it up?
Because there was a lot of yarn baths.
You like that word, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that everything you want to talk about today? Okay, so Catherine's Knitty Moments will return next time, and hopefully we'll have a finished beanie.
Hope so. Bye.
Yes, so I'm really proud that she is continuing. Maybe not making as fast progress as I think she wishes she had, but we're so close to a finish. And look how even that stitching is. She's got the tension down really good. So hopefully over the weekend we'll have an FO. So we'll have an FO to show next week in Catherine's Knitty Moments.
Yeah, and FO means finished object.
Yes, FO, finished object. And we had a lot of issue with the yarn tangling. It's really, really nice yarn to use, but it does slip off the pre-wound ball, so we've caked it up to make it a little easier to handle. So let's pop that over there out of the way so I don't get it tangled up with anything. So my projects, I've got 2 FOs and a few too many whips. But we all know that Helen has startitis and I can't stop starting things when I need to get some stuff finished. So I've been really good. Oh no, I did start something new, but that's one of my FOs. And I'm planning on reducing my whips. So the next few whips that I finish are not going to be allowed to have a new start following. We'll see. Okay, so first finished object. This is part of what was my incoming last episode 20. In the last episode, episode 20, I showed some incoming that I had bought from Aldi, which was some recycled yarn made out of, I think it was old bottles, old plastic bottles. So I really wanted to give it a try. So I got the chunky yarn and the DK yarn. So I got the chunky and I knitted. I started the beanie pattern. I wasn't particularly keen on the pat stitch that was being used, so I switched to just straight stockinette, and I'm not quite sure what happened. Maybe I cast on too many stitches, but it's a little bit big and it's not deep enough. So I did the right a number of rows that was in the pattern, and it's not right really. It's not to be wearable. I do have enough left to have another go, and I might rip this back and add it back into the ball and have another go at using it. It was really nice to use, and the stitch definition on it is really nice too. So I really like a yarn where you've got good definition on the stitches. So that it might lend itself to crochet. I might see. So I mean 200 grams for a crocheted beanie would be enough, I would have thought. So I might rip all of this out and have a go at a crocheted beanie, and we'll see how that works. But I shall wait a little while till I make that decision. So yes, we shall see what I do with that. So my other finished object is an amigurumi project, and I finished Wasabi. So here he is. He's so cute. This has to be one of my most successful amigurumi projects ever. His ears aren't wonky, his legs and arms aren't wonky, his face looks right. The only thing is we do seem to have one arm fatter, that's skinnier than the other, and one leg skinnier than the other. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe my tension was off on one of them, but I really like him, and he is going to go to a work colleague. I showed a picture of him. I was so excited about how lovely he looked, and she had to have him. So in return for a lovely bottle of red, she is getting Wasabi. She is also going to be the recipient of my boho blanket when it's finished. She's a very knit-worthy friend. So I will, now I've shown him on my on my podcast, I can give him to her on Tuesday when I next see her at work. So that's Wasabi. He's so cute. And he is my project out of my amigurumi. And I absolutely love these books. And somebody recently recommended the mythical one. I don't think I've seen, they don't have a picture of it in this book. I have seen it around, and it's Dragons and Unicorns, I think it is. Anyway, it looks amazing, and a friend that I've recently made who crochets, she only does amigurumi, that's the only thing she ever works on. She recommended the book to me, and I just think it looks amazing, so I might treat myself to that at some point. But basically, my challenge to myself to try and improve my amigurumi skills is to work through every single amigurumi book, and I'm going to do everything. So I've done Wasabi, I've done the toucan, which was a bit of a disaster. I can't remember which episode, Zico, the toucan. I need to cover up the pattern. Ooh. Zico there. Ooh. He was a disaster. And then there's Wasabi. Who we've just finished. And the next one is Bernard the Fox. Now I might give this one a blue scarf, a blue and white scarf, and give it to my football mad colleague who is a huge supporter of Leicester City, who, if you are aware of football in the UK, have just recently won the FA Cup title. So that's another big trophy for the trophy cupboard of Leicester City. I'm not a football supporter, but as it's my local team, I do enjoy seeing them win. So but yeah, so that's so Bernard the Fox might get a blue scarf because that's their colours, blue and white, and yes, and he might find his way to my friend at work who likes football. So let's have a look. We're moving on to whips now. Let's start with the Enigma CAL. So Enigma CAL, that kind of ties into some incoming. So this is the Crochet Now magazine that I subscribe to, and the latest crochet along that this magazine is hosting is the Enigma CAL, and it is designed by Esther of It's All in a Nutshell. Now she is very popular with a lot of the sheepies, or shapiers, however we say it, pattern followers. She does a lot of tutorials for the make-alongs, and the latest make-along I am taking part in, so I'll show you that whip later. But this crochet along is here. So I finished part 2 and I've sewn in all the ends. How good am I? We all know that Helen does not like ends. And I've been really good. Where I haven't been able to crochet the ends in, using a method I found on YouTube where you actually crochet them through the stitches rather than just crochet over the ends. So it makes it a little more secure. So where I haven't been able to do that, I've sewn them in. And it's all done and ready for part 3, which will be coming towards the end of June. And I'm really loving this pattern. So the colours, I shopped my stash. I decided I wasn't going to get the kit as much as I love the Colour Crafter yarn and the Stonewashed yarn, although Stonewashed is a bit pricey for a blanket. I decided I have so much yarn, and I have a lot of yarn in colours close to the colours in the main kit. So I went through and picked out those that in my kit that were closest. So it's not going to be an exact match, it's going to be a close match because I quite like the colourway of the blanket. So that is the Enigma CAL. So let's move on to my BAL. So those regular viewers of my podcast will know that I am hosting a blanket along running from the start of May to the end of August, which should give you plenty of time to have a finished blanket. We've already had our first finished blanket and it looks amazing, and a big shout out to that follower. Head over to the Instagram hashtag Crochet Moments BAL and have a look at all of the blankets that are being made in that feed. There's some beautiful ones on the way, but particularly I don't want to say her name in case I'm not allowed to, but it's an achievement for her because it's not something that she's done before, and I just want to say she did an amazing job. So we're doing the same blanket, that maker and I, and there are a couple of other makers, and I've seen a couple of them start to show up in the hashtag now as well. So there are a few pictures in there, and I just love them. They're all, I love going in there every day. I go and have a look and put love or comment on people's projects because they're doing a great job. So my blanket for my bow, I am doing the Boho blanket. It's a Stylecraft pattern designed by Lucia Dunn. This is a pattern that the person who I've just been mentioning had wanted to do, but she was unsure on how to do certain elements, and I said, well, I like the look of that blanket, I don't mind making it along with you. And that is where the blanket along idea was born. So we have that particular viewer and subscriber to thank for this wonderful giveaway that I'm doing. So there are prizes that I will be drawing. I'll be drawing 2 prizes out of the hashtag. So if you are making a blanket, you don't have to start a blanket specifically for the bow. If you have a long time whip and you want an excuse to get it out the way, add it in as an entry, and at the end of August I will be having a look and randomly selecting. I will be allocating each photograph a number and using a random number generator to pick which pictures. So this is the blanket that started it all, and this is my progress so far. Now I'm a little over halfway. I have no idea what you're seeing because I'm behind the blanket and I cannot see. So I did start sewing in some of the ends, though I got a little bit bored halfway through these flower squares. So I will be spending some time on that next time this comes up on my decision wheel. So I've done the central panel and I've started on these blue and white stripes again, and then I'll basically be reversing everything that's here to the end and then adding the border. And it's a great blanket, and my friend at work, who is very knit worthy, has seen pictures and has said how much she would love it if it was hers. And well, we all know that I have lots of blankets, so it would be nice to give one to knit-worthy friends. And I know she'll appreciate it because she loves things nice and bright coloured and floral and things. So that is my boho blanket. And the best thing is it does work up quite quickly. So I've managed to get a fairly decent chunk done in 2 days, which is how many days I spent in the last 2 weeks on that. So my next whip, let's go with today's whip. So this is the project that came up on my decision wheel for today. It's in, I still haven't taken the labels off this. It's in my I Love Knitting tote from Aldi. These cotton bags are lovely for things like this. And this is my Dragonfly cushion. I've finished the front panel and I've started the back. So the back is done in 2 flaps and it's going to be secured with a row of buttons. Otherwise I probably would have thought of some other interesting way to join all of that. But here is the front. I'm not sure whether or not I want to block this. It could probably benefit from a blocking, but I'm not sure. I'm a bit concerned about stretching the design out too much. I might just measure it against the measurements it says it should be, and I'll block it to those dimensions if needed, if it's quite. And I haven't sewn the couple of ends in that are in this, And I'm about halfway on the first panel for the back. So I'll be doing 2 panels, it'll be about double those widths, and they will slightly overlap with some buttons. So I just need to find some pretty buttons. So I leave the pattern out. Oh, that is designed by Catherine Venner, and I always forget to show you what tools I'm using. But this is my 4mm cheapie from the range. I will at some point look at replacing these, but I do have quite a lot of the Crochet Society hooks, which I do use a lot. So I'm not sure. We shall see, because I do have one Clover and More hook, and I love that hook. So we shall see. Now, I keep saying we shall see today. Next, let's go with my No Way crochet tote. And in this bag, I have my Starbright jumper. There it is. And I have finished the body. Yay! And I've started the bottom rib on this, so it's looking pretty good now. It looks quite small, but I have measured it against Katherine and it does fit. So here we have the rib. I'm about halfway through on that rib. So that's looking lovely. I'm in 2 minds. I do have some gold sparkly embroidery thread, and I am in 2 minds about whether or not to backstitch around these stars and maybe sort of weave some in amongst the rib just to add a bit of sparkle, because it's for Katherine and she's a sparkly person. So, but I'm not sure, but I love the way it looks. I can't say, apart from this section and the bits where you do something interesting, I haven't enjoyed making this too much because I'm not one for doing the same stitch over and over and over again. I'm not a granny square crocheter. I'm not the biggest fan of granny squares, and endless half treble crochets was just, it felt like forever. But this will definitely be done in time for when it's cool enough again. We're just starting to get warm now, but it's still, if you go out, you still need something to cover you, to keep you a little bit warm. It's not hot yet, thankfully. This time last year we were cooking, literally cooking in temperatures. And I know I have at least one viewer in Australia who is probably going, you don't know hot weather. And I know you get it hotter, but it's just, I don't deal well with hot weather. Let's just leave it there. So my next whip I have got in my brilliant project bag by Soffity, that she made and sent to me as a birthday gift, which I'm still completely in love with. There will always be a project living in this bag. So if I finish this, there has to be something else started to replace it, because I need to always use this bag. I love it so much. So this is in here living my seashell sweater. Put all those post-it notes there. they're all the projects that in this issue that I want to make. So this is a Seashells
Seashell. She sells seashells.
Thank you, Catherine. She sells seashells shawl. I'll get that. I haven't even started drinking tonight yet. And this is the one where, if you remember from last episode, that I haven't done the dropped double yarn overs before, so I'm getting there. I'm getting closer. And this is it. I had to change the cord. I hadn't got put a long enough cord on my interchangeable needles, so I am using my Knit Pro Zing interchangeables. These are the 4mm, and it is being done in my Angelo 4-ply in the colourway Never Going Back Again by Orchidine Yarns, and her details will most likely be below if I remember to put her in there. I love her yarns, I really do. And this is alpaca, silk and cashmere blend as well. So, and here is the yarn. Look at that beautiful yarn. I just love that colour, and this is so soft, so soft. And here is the shawl so far. So it's getting there. It is definitely getting there, and I can't remember how many rows I have left to do. Okay, so I've got 10 rows left until I start the shell lace, and there are 3 repeats I think of the shell lace, and then it will be finished. So this is a 4-ply yarn, which is a fingering weight yarn, and just look at the way the colours, it's just, I love how it flows from the really light stuff to the slightly darker stuff. It's so pretty and soft, and I do sit and do this quite often when I've got this project out. I will just stop every now and then and rub it against my face because it's such a lovely yarn, and I can't wait for that one to be finished so that I can wear it. Right. That's that one. And just 2 whips left to show. Oh, excuse me. We had a rather large dinner tonight. I forgot to get some chicken out to defrost to make a curry, so we decided to order a curry instead. And I might have over ordered. So my next project is one that I haven't shown for a little while because it hasn't come up on my decision wheel for a little while, and that is the Summer Court tank. Here it is. So this is a Dragon Hoard Yarns design, and this one is a paid pattern. I got it free as part of I think it was a Thanksgiving giveaway. But I really, apologies if you can hear Emily complaining about being put into bed. So I've really enjoyed doing this. So I finished the lace finally. The lace felt like it was taking forever, but I finally finished it. And again, these are on my Knit Pro Zings. I'm not quite sure if these were an interchangeable set or not. Oh crikey, this is in such a tangle. It wasn't this tangled when I put it away. Right, okay, so yeah, so these are are on interchangeables, and here it is. So I love the way the colour is striping, although it does mean that the lace doesn't stand out quite as well as I had hoped. I'm hoping with a bit of blocking it might. So there it is. This yarn is absolutely beautiful yarn to work with. This is the Cuddle Bums sock yarn, fingering weight yarn, and it is called Mint Rainbow. I'm not sure if this is a colourway that they still do, because I bought this out of a bargain bucket at a yarn show that I went to in Nottingham. So here's the yarn on the Is it skein or is it a hank? I don't know. But this is really, really lovely. And this is just a standard sock yarn. So it's superwash, 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon and 5% stellina sock. And just look. It was just this pop of rainbow against this lovely mint green that drew me to it. On my screen it's looking quite, this bit's looking quite washed out, but it's actually a really lovely mint green. So that is my summer court tank. So I finished the lace. The body should knit up quite quickly because it's just straight stockinette until it's the length that I need it to be. Now the pattern is a little bit cropped, so I shall probably not have it quite so short. I'm not sure. I just have the one whip left and a tiny bit of incoming. I'm definitely going to come in under an hour today. Woohoo! For you watching anyway. And for me for editing. The longer it is, the longer it takes to edit. So this is, and I don't have a picture of this, this is the Get Connected make along that is being run currently on the Sheepies official Facebook group. I joined the Facebook group as part of getting support for this lovely blanket, and very quickly discovered that they do regular make-alongs on top of the main crochet along blanket pattern that they tend to do every autumn. So I was like, I'm in. I need cushion covers. All of my cushion covers are still sort of Christmassy winter themed, so it wouldn't hurt to have some nice cushion covers, and crochet knit can work for either. So I have got the asked for yarn for this. This is made in the river washed. Yes, so this is done in the river washed. So these are the two main colours that I'm using. So we've got Nile and Danube, and they are absolutely amazing colours that go together really, really well. And I'm a little over halfway on the front panel. So here it is. So it's quite a large cushion. I do have some large cushion pads, though I might have to get a new one. So here this is the orientation it is, but let's just hold it this way because it's slightly easier to manage at the moment. So I really, really love how the colours are working together. And I actually used a colour wheel for the first time to choose colours that went together. So Simon is the colour expert in our house. He, as a photographer, needs to understand how colours work together, and so I asked him, I said, can you look at these colours, as I was looking at the river washed yarn on the website I was buying them on. I said, please look at these and help me choose some colours that go together. And he showed me how to use a colour wheel for choosing colours. So I wouldn't say I'm now an expert at putting colours together, but I do think I did a really good job on this. And as you can see from sort of the colour of our sofa, it's going to go quite nicely with that, I think. So I'm really in love with this colour, with this pattern. And the best thing is, don't have a heart attack over all those ends. This is going to have an enclosed border. So I don't need to do anything with those ends other than hide them in the border, which would be brilliant. And the border colour that I chose is the Stone Washed in Moonstone. I just love this yarn. And the makeup of this yarn is a 78% cotton, 22% acrylic. And it's really nice to work with. I'm not sure if I will buy it often because it's something like £4 for a 50-gram ball. But it's definitely one I won't object to working with again in the future. So let's pop that away. And the pattern is a free pattern, and I've started it as the free pattern, and I'd got so far in I thought, well, this would be easier to print it out, but I was far enough in by then that it wouldn't have made much difference really if I bought it, so I've just been writing it down in a notebook. Every time I sit down to it, I write a few more rows out and think, oh, I should get that much done today. This is in my knitting bucket sack type thing from Aldi. I love it when they have their craft stuff in, because they do tend, some of it's tat and I avoid the tat, but they do have some occasional useful things. And the totes and the bags, storage bags, are always good. Oh, where's that come? That's come from my... Oh, Get Connected. I'm using one of my crochet hooks, Society hooks. So this is the 4.5mm. And I can't remember which number box this was, but this is one of my favourite hooks. I really love the colours and the sort of the leafy look. Okay, so incoming. Let's start with my magazines. So I've had both of my subscription magazines have arrived. So I've recently started subscribing to Knit Now magazine. I wanted the free yarn. So I had to commit to a year's subscription for that, which won't be a hardship because I want to do their knit along. And after that I shall review whether or not I want to keep getting it. I don't know, we shall see. But here is the Crochet Now magazine, and look at that lovely little sunflower. I'm really tempted to make him. He's adorable, but the idea of doing all of those little petals seems a bit fiddly. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find the crochet along picture. So here is a full picture that this is going to be. So as you can see, we've just got to this section here. Oh, where did my finger go? This section here. I'm going to guess that the next section will be this sort of section with almost the flower petals that go around. How gorgeous is that? That's really nice. You can get digital copies of this if you wanted to make this and you're not in the UK, because I know these magazines can be really expensive if you buy the hard copies outside of the UK. The first section. It's been a very long day. So the first part of the crochet along is in issue 68. This is issue 69. So you've got a good amount of time to have a go. So 2 standout patterns in here for me this month. The ones that I'm probably going to make at some point. So I really like this top here. And this one is made with the Starcraft Naturals bamboo and cotton, and I really want to try using bamboo and cotton yarn, so I might give that a try with that particular yarn. I shall see if I can find it on offer anywhere though. We know that Helen likes a bargain, and because my girls are huge fans of emojis, I think these cushions are great.
You never showed them to me.
You didn't want. You never like to look. You never look in the crochet magazines all that much. It's always the knitting ones that she pays attention to, especially these days. Now she's a knitter. So those are the 2 standout patterns for me. not all magazines have got lots of patterns that I want to make. This is one that isn't pattern heavy of ones that I want. But I absolutely adored the free gift this time. We get Peanuts hook. Look at those little paw prints. So it's a 3.5mm hook. Obviously it's not perfectly finished, as you can see around here, but I haven't used it yet. But that sort of thing probably wouldn't make much of a difference to me because of the way I hold my hook, so, and the way I crochet. So that should be fine. And a really cute little Snoopy stitch marker. I love Snoopy. I think Snoopy's so adorable. But he is so cute. So that is my Crochet Now magazine. And I got my first Knit Now subscription magazine. And here's the cover. This is issue 129. Now, one of the advantages to subscribing is you do, even with the subscription gift, you do get a discount on the cover price. So the cover price is £7 per magazine, and I think it works out at about £5 per magazine. So I'm saving a couple of pounds a month at least. I haven't sat down and worked out exactly how much, but yeah, so we've got a couple of patterns in here that I like. Now, I'm fairly sure that Emily would probably like me to make that, but I'm not really up for that one. As far as stuffed front jumpers go, let's just leave it at the unicorn jumper I made for her. I quite like this jumper, and I thought that might be a nice thing to knit for Simon, but Simon said no. He doesn't like it. He's very plain. He doesn't like things too patterned. So never mind. Now, one thing that did give me a giggle in this magazine, in this issue, is, where is it? Ah, in the bookshelf section. I don't know who comes up with these ideas, but so look at this. Look at this. Going wild in Woolly Bush. Now, I'm not sure how clear it's coming through on your pictures. They're nudists. Nudist knitted dolls. That's just... yeah. Who'd have thunk? It's just, it still makes me giggle. But oh, that's quite interesting. I hadn't noticed that. The 60 Quick Knits blanket squares. That might be one for you, Catherine.
Really?
Maybe.
When
it's, if we find
people?
Pardon?
You think I'm going to make naked people?
No, the knitted squares. Blanket squares.
Oh, I thought you meant the dolls.
No. But it's by Knitty Knits. So, I never thought that was a thing. Am I a little bit naive? I don't know. So one of the patterns that I definitely will be doing out of this magazine when my subscription yarn arrives, which still hasn't, will be these socks. I really like the look of these socks. The idea is really simple. So it's just a plain vanilla sock, and where you have the stripes of colour in the yarn, you just purl those stitches, and you just keep going vanilla, purl where there's colour. So depending on your tension, you can end up completely different socks. If you may have the same ball of yarn and made two pairs of socks, they could both look different. I really like the look of those. And the pattern, let's what have I got? I'll just put my hand over it. So that's the other pattern that you can do with yarn that is coming in the next issue. I will do that with one of my hand dyed yarns. thought that might be a nice way to use some of my yarns. And oh, the other pattern that I quite liked the look of is this really pretty scarf here. So just those two things in that issue that I liked. And the free gift with this, we've got a lovely little pair of scissors, and these actually cut. Sometimes with the free gift scissors, they're not very good at cutting, but those actually do cut yarn, which is always helpful. And excuse the rustling.
Wuzzle, wuzzle, wuzzle.
We also get a couple of needles, sewing needles. I don't think I'll be using these. They don't feel very nice. It's a bit strange thing to say about needles, but oh, I've got Emily poking her head over the door, so we might be about to be interrupted. I've also got these really cute little labels that you can stitch into your knitting. So this one is Eat, Sleep, Knit. We've got All You Need Is Yarn and Handmade with Love. I love these sorts of things. I never know the best way of attaching them to projects, but I love the idea of popping these on to projects that are for gifts. So that's those. And then I've got my yarn. Emily, why aren't you in bed?
I've got a headache.
Have you? Well, go see Daddy. Daddy's upstairs. Sorry about that. So I got an email from Wool Warehouse this week saying up to 50% off on some Starcraft yarns, and the first Starcraft yarn that was listed was one that I do like, so I bought two. So the Head Over Heels All Stars sock yarn.
Head over heels, whoop, whoop.
So this one is the colour Pool. I really like that. I think that, well, either of these two colours actually might make nice socks for Simon. But they would also make nice socks for me or the girls. They're not too feminine, but they're not too masculine either. And that's how it knits up. Sort of that sort of striping there. So assuming, I'm going to make an attempt at pattern matching this time. We shall see when next time I use that stuff. And I also got, which colour is this one? Red Pots. This is Red Pots. And that's how that knits. Which is really, really good. And this is usually about...
Study.
Sorry about the interruptions. So this is usually £4 a ball, £7 a ball, and I paid £3.50 per ball. So that's a bit of a bargain. I'm not sure how long the sale is on, well, Wool Warehouse. So if you are interested in using this stuff, head over and have a look. And then I just had a browse to see what else was on offer, because I want to try different yarns, and I don't have a lot of experience outside of the Starcraft Special and the All Stars, so I thought I will try a couple of their cake yarns. So the Dreamcatcher yarn was on offer. So this is what colour is this? Where's the colour? Arapaho. Okay. But this is really nice. As soon as I took this out of the bag, Catherine was oohing and ahhing over it. But she was also oohing and ahhing over the other yarn that I'd got as well. So I've bought two cakes because I think it's 150 grams per cake. So that should, that's a sweater for one of the girls, I would have thought. 300 grams. That's got to be. So we've got 435 metres. It's a 90% premium acrylic and 10% wool DK weight. And there is actually a 2-ball pattern on the wrap there for a shawl. So I might have a look, although it looks fairly plain. I don't know, but we shall see, because it's the sort of colours that the girls like. So that could always easily become a cardigan or a sweater for the girls. And then I saw these. And these are lovely. Look at the colour. So I've got 2 of these. These are the Stylecraft Special Candy Whirl. So this is just the normal Starcraft DK, so it's 100% premium acrylic. It's 443 metres per cake. And I just love this. It reminds me very much of one of the Starcraft Batik cakes that I really, really want. It's a similar colour scheme. Unfortunately, that one wasn't, that the Batiks weren't on offer. Which is a shame, because I really, really like them. So yeah, it's all lovely, lovely stuff. So that's everything. I'm done. That is all of my things that I have to show. Hopefully, when I come to edit this, I don't chop the end off like I did last time. And Simon had to pop the extra video on. So if you did see my first video of episode 20 and haven't seen episode 20A, head on over to that episode. I think it's only about an extra 5-10 minutes worth of video. I can't remember, but yeah, that's it. So thank you very much if you have made it this far. I really would appreciate it if you could like my video. If you want to, leave a comment, and if you're not already subscribed, why not? Just hit that subscribe button.
Because of us, that's why not.
And there's also a little bell that you can click to have YouTube notify you whenever something new goes on. So there will be, hopefully sometime during the week, maybe next weekend I'll release it, a little vlog video of, it's bank holiday weekend here in the UK, and we're going to be doing all sorts of activities with the girls. So stay tuned for that if you like to see what we get up to as a family. I don't think we'll be doing the day trip for Monday as a vlog, because Grandma's coming and I don't think Grandma's too keen on being on the vlogs. But we are going to be doing a really fun activity on Sunday. So we'll hopefully have lots of video to put together for that. So I've rattled on for a little bit too long again.
What's it on for me? He's looking for sins.
Yes, Catherine gets to play on her computer game while I rattle on about all sorts. And she'll have her knitting out in a moment and carry on with some knitting once we've got...
You think as if it's the vlog go straight to bed, because you didn't want to watch Lucifer.
No.
What?
We were joking. Yes, the new series of Lucifer is out on Netflix, but there are a few other things we want to watch first, and we'll get round to watching that eventually. Yes, so I am going to go away now and pour myself a rather large drink of something. I'm not sure what yet. I shall see what I've got in the cupboard. And I will see you again in a couple of weeks. And I hope you have a lovely yarny time. Please feel free to let me know what you're working on. I do look forward to seeing any progress pictures if you're taking part in my blanket along. And stay safe, and I shall see you soon. Bye.
Bye.